opinions and views of the hosts and guests do not reflect those of the station.
Hello there, good evening. Welcome to the June Alma Show. This is June Alma. Welcome you again to another evening of exciting, hot topics of conversation. We have very interesting guests tonight, and I'm sure you will continue to enjoy and get lots of nuggets of wisdom out of our guests. We have tonight a very important foreign affairs diplomat who is the most senior at the Department of Foreign Affairs, and she holds the most important portfolio, heading the most important division of the department, which is the Strategic Planning and Policy Division of the department. And she was formerly the ambassador to Sweden, and was also the first woman elected as vice president to the United Nations. And now she's back, and as appointed again as the undersecretary for policy at the Department of Foreign Affairs. So let's welcome this evening the very amiable, the Honorable Undersecretary Amb.Basilio. Good evening, ma'am. Welcome to the June Alma Show.
Thank you very much, Georgie, for inviting me to your show.
You're welcome. It's an honor and a pleasure to have you with us. Thank you. As a sequel, ma'am, to last week we discussed about the foreign policy, about the United Nations Convention on the Law of the Sea, as we had as our guest the former ambassador and senator also, Leticia Shahani, and we had a very interesting and controversial topic of discussion, but it was tackled very lightheartedly. And so tonight we would like to continue the discussions, because we know that right now very controversial is the topic about the foreign relations, especially with our neighboring countries. And so we know that you are heavily involved in the planning about the ASEAN community build-up and the eventual integration of the region. So, ma'am, would you like to share with our televiewers on your project right now about ASEAN?
As a founding member of the Association of Southeast Asian Nations, more popularly known by the acronym ASEAN, the Philippines joined 5 Southeast Asian countries on August 8, 1967, to form the Association of Southeast Asian Nations. After 45 years of existence, we are now very busy trying to usher in the ASEAN community by 2015. Originally, we were 5. Now we are 10. So we have achieved the vision of our founding fathers to have all the 10 Southeast Asian countries under one ASEAN community. And it is our task here in the Philippines, as a founding member of the association, to raise the level of awareness of our people about the aims of and objectives of the Association of Southeast Asian Nations. As you know, the ASEAN community has 3 pillars. There's the political security pillar, the economic pillar, and the sociocultural pillar. Under our charter, we have decided to make ASEAN a people-centered organization. So it is very important for our people and all our friends, foreign friends who are here in the Philippines, to understand why we are very keen and very active in preparing for the formal launching of the ASEAN community by 2015. We, we are doing many things in ASEAN to promote and protect the welfare of our people. We are in the political and security pillar, for instance. The ASEAN Intergovernmental Commission on Human Rights, it has drafted a declaration on human rights, and this will build upon the international human rights conventions and declarations. But this declaration is tailored to fit the Southeast Asian people. So the rights of children, the rights of women, the rights of every sector in society was prominently focused on the promotion of and protection of their rights. So we hope that the ASEAN leaders, when they meet in November for the summit, that they will be able to sign this declaration. The Philippines has been in the forefront of promoting human rights. So we are very pleased that this declaration will be issued by the leaders in November.
Yes. I understand, Undersecretary, that the implementation of the actual ASEAN integration will be scheduled for 2015,
2015.
2015, January 1st. But I think lately there have been some requests by the ministers of the respective countries to sort of extend. But before that, I would like to introduce my co-anchor, Dr. Chelehano.
Yes,
Good
good
evening.
evening, everybody. I wanted to ask the ambassador about also the fact that by 2015, what we want to establish is similar to what the European community did. Will it be called ASEAN, for example?
It will be the ASEAN community. With regard to your query, the Philippines is prepared and is ready to assume its role and assume its responsibilities as a member of the ASEAN Economic Community. There are some who ask for deferment, but I think it will be a go. By 2015, everybody should be ready to comply with all the requirements which they themselves have forged for themselves. So it is the economic community will enable us to have economies of scale because ASEAN now is 600 million in population. We have started integrating our industries. We have what you call the ASEAN Free Trade Agreement, where goods coming from the Philippines entering the 9 others will be able to benefit from duty-free entry. So this will boost the tourism, the inflows of goods, including services, into the 10. We have also forged free trade agreements with our dialogue partners, namely with Australia, New Zealand, with China, with Japan, with we have also talked with the Republic of Korea. We have also in discussion with the European Union to forge this free trade agreement with them. So every ASEAN member country can become an entry point for foreign businessmen to come and do business with us. Philippines, for instance, can always tell foreign businessmen that they can use the Philippines as their gateway, not only to the Association of Southeast Asian Nations, but to the greater Asia-Pacific region. So this will boost trade, it will create jobs for our people, it will also enable our industrialists to invest in other countries, and they are doing this already, including Myanmar, Vietnam, Cambodia, Thailand, Indonesia, and so on.
On the horizon, for example, in a very optimistic standpoint, from a very optimistic standpoint, does that ASEAN community imply that maybe eventually we will have a unified currency? Is that in the
Well,
horizon?
it 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 is a long-term goal, but it would be nice so you don't have to go to the foreign exchange, you know, of office foreign exchange
Change,
dealers,
yes.
for instance.
Yeah.
Just like in the EU, they just use one currency, the
Yeah,
euro.
euro.
And it facilitates travel, it makes it easy for people to buy things and to avail themselves of services. It's a long-term goal, and we will be working on that too. But we have to ensure that all the 10 will be able to agree to a common currency.
I wonder what it would be called. But then June has a favorite topic also.
Yeah.
But
No, I just, this is
We
a
can call it,
continuation
yeah.
from the
Yeah, yeah,
radio
topic.
this is a continuation actually from the radio show when we initially talked about the integration of the region and coming out with a unified currency. So, but also looking forward, Undersecretary, do you think that now that you are able to get 10 members in the ASEAN, do you think because of the recent, the recent conflicts among other Asian countries, particularly the two giant countries above us in the north, which is China and Japan. Do you think it will be wise also to expand the ASEAN to include the whole, continent, to include, like the whole Asian continent?
We have several mechanisms in ASEAN. We engage the major players in the world in the East Asia Summit. The leaders of the United States, Russia, Japan, China, the Republic of Korea, India, Australia, New Zealand sit in the East Asia Summit. So that is a forum where the leaders are able to bring to the table issues or subjects which in their view are of great significance to the region and into the world. ASEAN provides a neutral platform where all these major players can come and they're able to agree on many important initiatives. I recall that during our chairmanship of ASEAN in 2006 and 2007, energy security ranked very high in the ASEAN agenda. So we were able to come up with a declaration on energy security. And subsequently, energy security has been discussed in other fora as well. The promotion and the protection of the rights of migrant workers, given our long tradition of promoting the observance of human rights, has been one of the seminal documents that came out of the Philippine chairmanship of ASEAN. Now we are coming up with outcome documents which further underscore the importance of protecting the rights of our peoples. For instance, in Cambodia, during the summit, the leaders will issue a drugs-free ASEAN. I mean dangerous drugs. By 2015, we will be a drugs-free area, community. So I think that is very important because those are one of the challenges which we face today, trying to address the illicit trafficking of dangerous drugs. And you know the many implications of this, the repercussions of this. It's not, you are a doctor, sir, so you know how dangerous drugs can destroy the life of a person, not only himself but his family and extended family. So we are all working very hard to ensure that by 2015, dangerous drugs will no longer be peddled or trafficked or illegally trafficked by mules and all these drug syndicates.
That's good that the regulatory measures are now moving forward. And so I'm sure that you were, as you mentioned, Ambassador, earlier, that we have actually among all the countries in ASEAN, we are the most, ready as to the actual implementation for the ASEAN integration. And how far, I'm sure there are still a number of issues though, but in the next segment, which we would like to ask you about, after our short break, we would like to discuss about how far we have gone into the planning stage to prepare the country for the integration. We'll be back shortly after a few reminders. See you.